I left the teaching profession and joined housing. I was the first district manager in Antrim New Town, and one day I received a call from Mr. Richard Needham. So when I met him, I said, "What have I done?" "Oh, Hilary, it's not what you have done, darling. It's what you're going to do. I want you to rebuild Belfast." So I did. The present Helm Housing was originally Belfast Improved Houses. We formed a committee, and the chairman of our committee was Peter McLaughlin, who had been to Liverpool and had seen Merseyside improved houses, so he was very keen to help with Belfast improved houses. I was keen to get Belfast considered as a whole. The people came to the first public meeting and they appointed their own chairman. And then he appointed his own committee, and they came forward with their requests. And Edenderry Mills area just blossomed overnight. It was lovely. I'm very happy about where it is now. They still appear to me to be giving the individual attention, which is what I instilled into my staff. I hope instill's the right word.
I was in the original Dundela Street from which this all developed, and I was chairman of the first Tenants Association that was formed there. Worked through it all that time. Kathleen came along a bit later.
In those days, they used to have their AGM at the Grosvenor House, it was, and I had been having trouble with antisocial behaviour. I was already involved in cross-community and regeneration, and I couldn't understand why this couldn't be fixed. I brought it to the fore, and Alan Ray, who was the housing director at the time, he said, "Well, come on and do something about it." And I came to the next meeting and we got our problem solved. So it's been a happy house ever since. I got involved in the forum then. It was on for a few years, and then you had stated you were going, you were resigning, and I was asked by Alan, would I like to do the chair? I ended up in the chair, and I've been on the chair since. I'm very proud of the fact that we now have tenants on interview panels for our schemes. I think the most important thing is that whoever you are, whether you're a champion, that you know you're representing tenants and not just your wee place, you know. I think that's what you need to look at, the bigger picture.
Whoever was representing the Tenants Association on the board was listened to and valued. I mean, I must say that in my experience anyway, I never had any problems with the board as to what we should call it, and it ended up with Helm Housing because we were at the front. We were the Helm of housing. That was the reasoning, believe it or not. Sounds ridiculous, but that was it.
Of course, I didn't want to be a housing officer. It's not something that I woke up one morning and wanted to be. I wanted to be John Bonham, you know, and I still want to be John Bonham. I still play my drums. Since September '92, I got the job in the office. It was 7 years on site, and then I've been in the office ever since. The majority of staff members, I'm sure, have came from working class family backgrounds, have been in social housing. Their parents, their grandparents, their family members have been in social housing. from Belfast Improved Houses to taking over rehabilitation areas and still have that large pocket of housing to going into, like, say, Hems, where they've won awards for dementia. The staff and the ethos, the family of the staff is still here. I mean, I wouldn't be here 23 years if I didn't enjoy getting up in the morning and coming into work. It's a wonderful thing to be involved in, and it's a wonderful thing to say that I work there and I'm involved in it. I've made very good friends. When I lost both my parents, people were there for me. Held my hand, hugged me, and then also when I got married, on a happy occasion, they were there for me to hold my hand, hug me. So I think that is just says it all.
From my point of view as chair, it was important that I got a board around me with the right skills. We completely changed the process to bring people onto the board. We've built that team. The board is now a really strong board. We've formed good relationships, and we're very clear what our role is. So our role is very different from your role. Our role is not to get into operations. Our role is to set the strategic direction, to safeguard the organisation, ensure tenants are getting appropriate and proper and high quality services, and we're actually improving the lives of the tenants that we have and may have in the future. And it's also to manage the finances, the money, the development, all of those things appropriately, because we're working in a very public arena, and we're also working in a heavily regulated arena. My job is to make sure the board safeguards this organisation, make sure it's fit for purpose, and is leading it into the future.
Obviously, the senior team has a critical role to play there in terms of making sure that they are reassured that we plan, that we manage, that we control, and that we deliver the business as the board intends. Having got clarity from the board around our strategic direction, then really over the last couple of years, we've made fundamental changes to structures. We've invested in our systems. We've had a clear focus in relation to kind of talent within and across the organisation. We thought about the kind of information that we gather and how that's reported back to board.
I think the tenant's voice is critical. So right from customer-facing staff right up into the boardroom, we have to be tuned into what tenants need and what they want. It's just not about providing a house, it's about the services around that house. So that will, in the future, present challenges. But personally, I think that's the right direction for social housing to go, and I think Helm is more than up for the challenge.
Fundamentally, it's about the board driving that change and positive improvement across the organisation. And I think the challenges that we shared together were around dealing with legacy issues, focusing on day-to-day performance, and that wasn't where we wanted it to be. But putting both of those challenges into a wraparound of what does the organisation want to be going into the future, which I don't think anyone had really given serious thought to for a period of time because of the problems that the organisation faced. In my experience, where organisations or sectors have faced difficulties, it tends to lead to new ideas and to a lot more kind of dynamism and a lot more self-reflection and to positive change. You don't lose sight of the customer, so we have to be tenant-centred, but the only way that we deliver effective services is through our people. So, staff have kind of been there, some of them for a very long time, through good times and bad, as every organisation has. So it'll be fundamental that we keep good people doing the right thing at the right time, and that's about skills, and that's about mindset, and that's about inspiration.
I've worked with Helm for a long time. Previously, in my past role in Simon Community and now with Max. Helm own the building and we manage it, so we have to work together. We meet with them quarterly. And we talk about any issues, any maintenance, rent, things like that. But it's also really important that they understand the kind of young people that we work with and the challenges that they face. It works well. You know, I've got my own Helm officer who comes to meet with me. I stay in contact with them, you know, regularly. Partnership working is a really important part of my job because I wouldn't be able to do my job without all of the other organisations that work with me. And we wouldn't be able to support our young people as they deserve to be supported.
They do genuinely care that they make a difference in a positive way.
It's really amazing just how well constructed the flats are. I consider myself extremely lucky to have the flat that I have.
We've absolutely brilliant staff. We've a great top team. Everybody is striving now for Helm as one.
Accomplishment is the word I would describe